Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Gabriel Santos from gfsantos.com, and today I have a super special treat for y'all. I have one of my good friends and colleagues, and really, someone who I look up to and who I get nuggets from all the time. His name is Shaundi Goins, and in a second here, I'm just gonna give him the mic to kind of share with you who he is, but. The intention of today's video, well, let me back up real quick. So I met Shaundi at our life coach training at IPEC. And really, this guy walked in on our first day together and he had this Lakers championship, what's it called? A jacket on. And I was like, dang, this guy brought the energy. I consider myself someone who can presence is known, likes to have fun. And Shaundi, I saw that in Shaundi immediately. He's super friendly, super personable. And long story short, of all the people in my training that I stayed in touch with since that day, Shaundi's been number one pretty much. And just so everyone knows, Shaundi, I'm going to let him share his backstory, but he's gone through a lot, and he's really developed himself to be someone, we're going to get into it. But anyway, so Shaundi, you have the mic, bro. Just tell him whatever you want to say and just, who you are.
Man, Gabriel, I'm very excited to be here. I thank you for this opportunity. I'm so blessed that we get to speak life into people, to those listeners today, and hopefully give them some nuggets to help them get to that next level in their life, their business, their careers, and all that good stuff. I came from they call me the comeback kid, right? Because I came back from the brink of death, So in late 2001, I was a former United States Navy veteran. I actually lost my career because of my alcohol addiction. Okay. And so in late 2001, I got kicked out of the United States Navy. I was homeless. I was hooked on drugs and alcohol. I was depressed out of my mind, and I was suicidal. Guys, I was broken. And because I was broken, I really did not feel that, I felt that the world would be a better place without Shaundi Goins. And I'm going through the motions of I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just go ahead and just end it all. And by the grace of the great designer, my higher power said, no, not today. You are actually meant for something great. You are meant to serve a mighty nation. But the first thing I need you to do, I need you to get checked into a rehab. I need you to take care of that drug and alcohol abuse. And so in late 2001, guys, I entered into a 16-month behavioral modification rehabilitation place for chemical substances. I got clean. And from there, after I was able to learn how to live life on life's terms, I went into a journey of personal development for 5 long years, studying the greats like Tony Robbins, Zig Ziglar, Les Brown, John C. Maxwell, Jack Canfield, right? The gurus of the personal growth industry, Dr. Eric Thomas later on, and in 2007, an ex-girlfriend of mine.
It always happens that way, doesn't it?
Introduced me to a multi-millionaire business speaker, trainer, coach by the name of Danny Johnson.
That's right.
And about 2 minutes of listening to her story and listening to the testimonials of her clients, I said, I don't know where I'm gonna get the money from. All right. But all I know is I got to go see her. Because there was people in that conference, in that 2-day conference, they was changing their life, and they was like me and Gabriel. They was not rich. They didn't come from a well-to-do background. These were people that were everyday people, 9-to-5 people, living life on life's term, but they knew they were meant for something better. Mm-hmm. And they took that action to go see a guru that was changing hundreds of thousands of people's lives worldwide. And so, guys, I borrowed the money from a lot of friends and family. Can I get $10 here? Can I get $5 here? I was a single parent at the time with my son making $27,000 per year in Northern California. Anybody knows anything about Californians, to live in California, you got to make a lot of money. So $27,000 per year, I was poor, or in between blessings, right? And I was able to get that money. And I went to go see the guru trainer, Danny Johnson, in the summer of 2007. And coming out of the event, guys, my life was changed forever. My life was changed forever.
What was it? Sorry to cut you off. What was it that like had it change your life? And what's something that you could share with the people that could possibly help change their lives, even if they don't go see Danny Johnson?
Sure, absolutely. So one of the very first things that I learned out of that event was my belief system went from, I thought at the time my belief system was fairly high, but if my belief system went from here, it skyrocketed to here. Like way beyond my beliefs, guys.
You're talking about like your self-belief, or what do you mean by belief system?
My self-belief, yes. My self-belief that you have barely scratched the surface of what you truly can accomplish in life.
Okay, it's a chord. Matt, can I cut in real quick?
Sure.
So that I recently spoke to another friend of mine. His name's Brian Boo. I had a video with him, kind of like this podcast style. And he was sharing with how he got into personal development. And what he shared, which is similar to you, is like he realized, he read, the first thing he read, bro, was Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant Within or something.
Boom.
Right? And what he said was like, I realized through that book and other personal development stuff that like, oh shoot, like there's so much more that I can do. Like he had no idea that he could, like he thought he had a ceiling.
Right.
And it was pretty low. And he really thought that. And I remember being in that place too. And I forget sometimes that like people who haven't either had a life experience that showed them that, oh my God, I'm so much greater, or they've read from someone else and told them like, yo, like you can do so much more. Like you really, like your imagination of yourself stops like right here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Anyways, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. And so, she took us through a process of how to get rid of our limits and beliefs, right?
Okay.
You know, and it was very powerful and very therapeutic. And I just want to let everybody know, guys, when it comes to limits and beliefs, you know, I know there's a lot of gurus out there that you think you read this book or you go to this event or you go get this MP3, right? I'm gonna just tell you guys, because I've been in this game for well over a decade and I've seen them all, right?
Right.
I've seen them all. You've been to Tony Robbins. I've been to John C. Maxwell.
Right.
We've been to some gurus, but I'm gonna just tell you straight up, overcoming your belief systems is a daily practice. And I'm gonna tell you, every time you go to a higher level, every time you want to achieve higher goals, the bigger your dream, the bigger your work ethic have to be. The bigger your dream, the more that you have to work on your limits and beliefs, because there's always going to be the fear of the unknown. And I'm here to tell you guys, that's normal. I learned that from multi-millionaires and even billionaires. Still have limits and beliefs at every level they strive to get to. It's normal, guys. But the second main thing that I learned coming out of that event was my vision went from here to here. So at that time, I was a.
What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm sorry. What does that mean? Like what was your vision here, and then what like?
So at that time, coming off of being, had to be clean and sober first and foremost, right? My dream at that time in 2000, we talked probably about 2000 and 2007 at that time.
Okay.
My goal was to graduate from college with a bachelor's, get a master's in psychology, one day work my butt off to become an assistant director of a substance abuse counseling facility, right? Have a home, couple kids, wife, a good running car. That was the extent of my life's plan.
Right. And that's a lot already, right? Like for most people, that's like, oh my goodness, I made it.
That's what I thought too. That was the picket fence, right?
Right.
And coming out of that event, I realized that no, like you're serving people at a local community level, which was great. But I learned that I was actually meant to serve worldwide, right? And I didn't know at the time what kind of capacity, but I knew that I was meant for so much more. And coming out of the event, guys, like I got out of the substance abuse counseling industry, and I love that industry. I love helping chemically dependent people because that was me at one time. But I knew that my walk and my journey was going to be so much bigger. And I will tell you, when they say success leaves clues, it's the truth, because
100%.
When I got that vision, and I'm going to seminars after seminars after seminars, and every time I go, I grow a little bit, personally, professionally, and 9 weeks coming out of that event, I got a career for the first time in my life, and that's how I got into the higher education industry as a college recruiter. And normally, to become a college recruiter, they mostly say prefer bachelor's degree. You ever heard that term before with a job? Preferred bachelor's degree, preferred master's.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you what I learned from a multimillionaire. My friends, if you have the skill to help a business grow or sustain, save money, if you have the ability to help them to go to the next level, they'll hire you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll hire you.
100%. That's all they care about. If you can bring results, look, this is what I like to say, right? Like you have two, okay, so let's say there's a mechanic, right?
Right.
Who would you rather have? The mechanic that went to mechanic school for 5 years and has a certification? Or the mechanic that never went to certification school but spent 5 years in a mechanic shop working on cars?
Give me option number 2.
Right? And it's not that the mechanic one couldn't handle it. It's just that, like, that nothing beats real experience.
Yes.
And the certification is really like, you can really dive deep in the information side, the concept side, and it does help with credibility. But like I said, what's more credible? I have a psychology degree, or I've helped 1,000 people with their psychology.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's like, but the both, having both is where it's like, boom, boom, right?
Right. This is true, man. This is true. Absolutely.
Actually, that kind of brings me to this point. So
sure.
So back, let's rewind back when we were in IPEC, right?
Okay.
Which stands for, guys, it stands for Institution for Professional Excellence in Coaching. One of the top life coaching programs in the nation, in the world, I think. And our trainer who taught us everything that we knew to become a certified coach, I remember her saying something like, because we always seem to have to wait for the certification. It's like, I can't do this until I get the paper, right? And she was very clear that, like, no. Like the certification is like a validation, but that doesn't speak to what you're capable of.
Yes.
And as a coach, not just for her, but for us who are coaches and really just leaders, like, our responsibility is to really drop these seeds of that the people we're interacting with, like they're going to be great.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's funny how those seeds, like you need, like I need them every now and then, because it just kind of like, it's so easy to get caught up in self-doubt and the story of like, no, I can't, right? But you have, and that kind of segues to this other point, which is like, and it's a cliche type of piece of advice, but the type of people that you spend your life with,
right?
Like person A and person B, they're going to say two separate things.
Yes.
And they really are, and they're going to live differently.
Yes.
Like just as a quick example, like, I remember I finally made it a point to spend time with people who were different, right? And we were on a hike, and we were on the downhill portion of the hike. And these guys are fun, they're animated, they're very sociable, and they're in personal development. And as we were going down the hill, instead of like a normal person walking, like they were running and like sliding on their feet. And that's a way of being in a lifestyle that I don't do for myself, but because I'm with them, that like rubs off on me.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, as opposed to hanging out with someone who like, they don't even want to go on a hike.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I always knew conceptually like, oh, the 5 people you hang out with, that's who you become, or oh, blah, blah, blah. But to actually experience it firsthand, like the difference of someone who like bitches and complains versus someone who thinks that anything is possible.
Yes.
Game changer.
It is, right?
Absolute game changer. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's crazy you say that because, you know, and I like to just tell people, you know, the keys to success in life and in business is really simple, but it's not easy. And the reason why it's not easy is because the human mind, we complicate things, right? So, you know, I've sat in front of tons of millionaires and tons of billionaires, you know, at different types of events and stuff, right? And, you know, they start sharing their life and they start sharing like what helped them get to the dance. And a lot of times, guys, I'm telling you, it's nothing spectacular. It's hey, here's my vision. I have a vision. I have a GPS for my life, for my business. Okay, great. I got the vision. What skills and what skills and knowledge and strategies do I need to put down on a piece of paper to accomplish this? What group of people, like-minded people, what like-minded people can I get on my team to be my board of directors, right? My confidants, right? That's going to help me turn the vision into reality, right? It's simple. They're not talking about no UC Berkeley, Stanford, Yale, MBA stuff. It's simple. And here's the thing, they have a daily ritual. They do it every single day consistently for years until they reach their goals, guys. And the difference between highly successful people and average people is they just stay consistent until they hit their goals. But a lot of people will give up and they have no idea just how close they are to hitting the goals. So the reason why you want to get around like-minded people like Gabe, you know, is because if you're around movers and shakers, I'm telling you, if you are around movers and shakers in the areas that you want to become great in, sooner or later, my friend, you don't want to become the oddball. Everybody creates success, and you see me talking about shoulda, coulda, woulda. Right. Facebook Live talking about what you're going to do. You on Instagram talking about what you're going to do. You on YouTube talking about what you're going to do. You in college talking about what you're going to do. But at the end of the day, are you really out there handling your business to get that career, to get that business? Are you out there taking all out massive action like LeBron James, like Steph Curry, like Michael Jordan? You got to be a mover and a shaker. And the only way that you become a mover and a shaker is you got to get with movers and shakers that are 10 times better than you are.
Bars.
You know, that's the only way that we grow. You don't grow by staying the same. You don't grow by just staying average. You grow when you step outside your comfort zone. And I know it's hard because we don't want to be embarrassed. I get that. I hate being embarrassed. I'm gonna tell you something though. Either you're gonna do two things. Either you're gonna be the one that's gonna listen to what me and Gabriel are saying right here, right now, and you like, Shaundi, I'm fired up, Gabe. I'm fired up. Let's go. I'm ready to get to the next level. Or you're gonna be that one that's gonna stay the same. And everybody else around you is going to grow. You're going to be around non-movers and shakers, which means you're going to stay stagnant, stay plateaued. And you're going to get to a point to where you begin to start lose things in your life and lose people because what's happening is you're not stepping into your greatness. And you're going to wait till the last minute to step into your greatness when you hit rock bottom. You see what I'm saying? See, I've hit rock bottom for you. right?
Right.
I was hanging around the wrong people, right?
Right.
I was hanging around drug dealers,
Right.
drug addicts, alcoholics. So what did I become?
Right.
The latter, right?
Exactly.
The minute I started hanging around with clean and sober people, I got clean.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I started hanging around college students, I went to college.
Mm-hmm.
The minute I started hanging around business professionals, I got a career. The minute I started hanging with multiple six-figure millionaires, my annual salary increased in 4 years. What you talking about? Man, I was homeless.
Right. Yeah. I think we forgot to mention that. Yeah. Shaundi was homeless, y'all. Shaundi was homeless.
So, and you know, this is gonna sound cliche, but hear me now. Let me just tell you, if I could do it from where I was at, you know, broken, right? And I'm here today, and I'm living a successful, fulfilling lifestyle. And it's not about the money. It's about I am happy because I get to serve a community. I am happy because I get to serve people like you, step into their greatness and also live a fulfilling lifestyle. See, most people can be successful, but most people are not fulfilled in life. And I'm here to tell you today that if you get with people that are successful, if you get with people that are fulfilled in life, I promise you, my friend, get the game for them, because sooner or later you're gonna become successful and live a fulfilling lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. You know, it's so, I'm so grateful to see you be unleashed in this platform, you know, because you really shine. You really, you have such a nature for speaking. And with the video, you know, I'm really glad that people are going to get to see you because you're a natural. And I know with certainty that there are people who are going to watch this and you're going to hit a chord in every sentence, you know, and so I'm just happy to see you kind of shine. I'm happy to see you shine and be in your rhythm, you know. And but yeah, to speak to what you're saying, so there's a saying that goes, if you hang out with 5 millionaires, you're gonna become the 6th.
Yes.
Right? And you can apply that to anything. So so just to give you guys a tangible example, if you hang out with 5 people with 6-packs, you're gonna become the 6th person with one. Right. And so I joined this group called Elite 24 Athletes, and within 2 months, so if an elite athlete is here in terms of their health, fitness, their weight, their body fat percentage, the way that they play in life, I joined them and I was like right here. Right. And I always identified as an athlete, but once I joined them, like you spend time with people who are already getting results, then they have the mindset, the strategy, and the execution that's required to get you to where they are. And so literally, like, guys, like within quicker than ever before in my life when I did it alone, I went from here to here, bang.
Wow.
And it was way different than when I would do it by myself. Like the approach is different. And like you get to leverage other people's experience and their knowledge and their expertise. You know what I'm saying? And so that's one thing. Another thing is, you spoke to how, like, look, and Will Smith says this himself, like, he ain't special. He wasn't born with the success gene. Right. It's a choice. But people don't realize it's a choice. Yeah. You feel like there's like a quote from a video that he's like, you feel like greatness is only for the special among us, right? But it's legit just a choice. And my point with this example is, when I went to Unleash the Power Within by Tony Robbins, like three years ago, I had an opportunity. So let me give you some context. So I used the Christmas money that my dad gave me to buy a ticket to that thing, right? Because my intention was, what can I buy that will last a lifetime or as long as possible? Right? So instead of buying some fish, I learned how to fucking fish, right? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like instead of going fit, you know what I'm saying? Like so I went to UPW, right? And one of my intentions, one of my goals really was like, I want a picture with Tony. Like strictly for like selfish reasons. You know, I'm like, I want to show it. I want a picture with Tony. Right. And I kind of got not bamboozled, but in my quest to get a picture, you know, obviously at these events, they're selling stuff all the time, right? They're upselling stuff all the time.
Definitely.
And they're talking about Mastery University, which is like the program. It's fucking $10,000, but you get Date with Destiny, Life Mastery, and Wealth Mastery, right? And another UPW ticket and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kicker, though, is if you buy a ticket today, you get a picture with Tony. That's what they said. And literally, bro, I was so gung-ho. I fucking dropped the $5,000 I got from my graduation money.
Sure.
Bang. And then I used my dad's credit card without asking him.
Beast mode.
Straight up. And I explained myself afterwards, right? But what's so funny, two things. What's funny is, like, one, the picture wasn't even solo, me and him. It was a group fucking picture, right? But I still got one, right? I still got one. But that B, which is the more important one I want to get to, is, so Tony took the time to shake everyone's hand that bought the Master University program.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finally shook my hands with him, you know, this is my idol, bro. Like, he's changed my life. Like, oh my God, he's like a god to me, self-help life coach God. And I shook his hand, and you know what I learned in that moment?
What's that?
That this guy, this fool's just a guy. He's just a guy. Like the kind of like the mystery and the fantastical image I had of him, it kind of like, it didn't ruin his image. If anything, I was like, oh shit, like there's nothing different between me and him.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. Like
Yes.
like I was like, oh fudge. Like he's just a man.
That's it. Yeah.
Right? And to kind of cap that story off, I recently was working with a client, and you know, as our clients can go through, they go through their ups and downs sometimes. And particularly this client was beat up about like that not enough voice.
Yes.
And I gave him something that Tony gave his audience, which is, look, like I used to be insecure. I used to be weak emotionally. And the guy that you see here wasn't the guy that I was born to be. And quote, I built this motherfucker. Right. So what I want to share, the message I want to share with the people is, like, just like Shaundi said, like Steph Curry didn't wake up the greatest 3-point shooter of all time.
Right.
Reps. And in terms of like, you know, identifying as someone who is confident and great, you know, there's some naturals out there, like they have it, right? But to really train yourself to not be a victim to that not enough voice, you literally, like Shaundi said, you have to have some kind of ritual, some kind of practice where you catch that shit and you nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Because by default, all of us are going to have this thing where it's like, shrink.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But what separates the good from the great, or the average from the great, is they don't let that be the thing they don't let that thing be a factor.
Exactly.
They build themselves to be something more than that. So that's my piece.
That's real, man. And you know, and this journey, I love this journey, guys. And I'm telling you guys, take action on what your dreams, what you passion about. Guys, just take action, because here's the thing. Do not worry about the results. Don't be attached to the end goal. Enjoy the journey, guys, because the journey is going to lead to so much more life. I can't even explain in the words, but I'm going to tell you what my journey did for me is I had the honor and privilege from my grind of getting to personal development and spending, you know, probably well over $100,000 now in just learning specialized education. You know, they say traditional education will afford you a living, but specialized education will afford you a fortune. And that's true. And that's very true. But as I grew in this industry as a college recruiter, guys, I was the worst thing on this planet when I first got into college recruiting. I'm telling you, I sucked for the first 6 years, just like Michael Jordan did for the first 6 years of his NBA career. But in my 7th year, I guess that 10,000 hour theory from Malcolm Gladwell is true, because in that 7th year, I went from worst to first. And the students that I was enrolling when I was at John F. Kennedy University out of Pleasant Hill, California, I was working with Olympic athletes. I was working with Olympic coaches. I was working with Adonal Foyle, who is an alumni of JFK, who's the ambassador for the Golden State Warriors, former Warriors.
Wow.
You know, I'm working with future sports psychologists and future mental skills coaches, and I'm working with alumni. And I'm learning from these youngsters. And I'm going to tell you something. They have a champion has a heart. Your heart is your will, right? Your heart, your will set can help you overcome any obstacle, guys. I'm telling you. I had the honor and privilege of speaking with an Olympic coach who this guy, he coached Olympic gold medalists. Let me just tell you what he told me. He said, Shaundi, would you believe that majority of my top gifted and talented Olympic girls, he was gymnastics, Olympic coach, gold medal. And he said a lot of them will burn out because they just relied on their talent, skills, and gifts. Mm-hmm. My gold medalist was not the best from a talent and gifted standpoint. Mm-hmm. But what got them from average, then to good, then to finally great, to win gold in the Olympics, was they worked their ass off. They had to become 3 times better than their competition, and they willed their way to gold. My friends, I'm gonna tell you straight up, what made me go from worst to first in this industry of college recruiting and in business was this right here. In that 6th year, my mother had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. I was out of the industry for a minute, and I was making $12 an hour at Lazy Boy in Dublin, California. I was pissed off. I felt like how I was in 2001. I says, I got a college education. I've been trained by the best in the world. I had a successful 6-figure business, and it's all gone. What the hell is up with this, God? I can't take care of my mother, right? And I felt like, yo, is this it? And I cried, and it was, oh my God, Gabe, it was raining that day. It was raining. And I missed the damn bus. And it was one of the times where if you miss the bus, it ain't coming till the morning time. So I had to walk home. Wow. And I was pissed off. Wow. You know, and I would just poor me. Right. Why me? And I cried. And I cried to my mother. And I cried to my queen, my lady. And in that moment, I went to my higher power and I said, you know, I think you're taking me through this journey for some reason. I don't know why. Right. I'm starting all over again. Right. But help me figure this out. Right. You know what I want to do in life. You know how I want to serve. You gave me the vision all the years ago, and I'm trying. I'm you know, well, why am I stuck? And he said to me, he said, because you said that you wanted to change the world. You said you wanted to help not 1, not 2, not 1,000, but 1 billion people. Right. How can you help 1 billion people if you can't hit rock bottom and know what it feels like to really, really struggle, to lose it all, and then to come out on top and say, let me just tell you, you went through adversity. I feel you. But here's the thing. You can move forward. And I had to go through that process to go to the next level, right? And guys, I'm gonna tell you something right here. There is going to come a time, and you probably experienced in the past, it got so hard for you. You said, you know what? I thought I was going to be a business owner. You know what? I thought I was going to be a dancer. I thought I was supposed to be an author. I thought I was supposed to do this full time, and it ain't for me. Screw it. I'm going to go back to work. And I'm here to tell you right now, you gave up too damn quick. Mm-hmm. Because what you don't know is this right here is a lot of times, a lot of people have no idea they are around the corner from turning the corner to moving into their greatness.
Right.
And I'm telling you guys, that day, and it didn't happen immediately. I had to go through some more stuff, but he took me back to the bottom of the bottom, and then I trusted him, and I moved into my greatness. And when I got to JFK, and I didn't do anything differently. The only thing I did differently was I just showed up as my most authentic self. I stopped selling. I stopped all that stuff they train you to do in recruiting. I became the person God called me to be, and all I did was inspire and empower people to change their life with a college education. And I went from worst to first, baby. And I became the top dog for 4 consecutive years. And I've been able to help a lot of millennial aspiring entrepreneurs to go from, hey, I have a vision, to now I got a business, and now I'm thriving in my space. Mm-hmm. And guys, I'm here to tell you, you can do the same thing too. But when that day come, because it's gonna come, mm-hmm. When that day come, you gotta go right here in the heart. You gotta have that will set to push you through that difficult time. But I promise you, if you stick and stay, if you have resilience, if you have grit, right? If you stay the course, you're gonna turn that corner. And when you turn that corner, you're gonna thank the grind. You're gonna thank the blood, the sweat, the tears. You're gonna thank the day that you was like, man, I feel like giving the hell up. Mm-hmm. You're gonna thank that day, because it's that journey. Go back to that journey. It's that journey that's gonna help you go from average to good to great to phenomenal, my friends. And you were born to be phenomenal. You weren't born to be average. You were born to be phenomenal. There are millions of successful people from the past in the present that are doing phenomenal things. Let me ask a question. We are human beings. How come that can't be you too? Mm-hmm. It can, but you gotta work for it. If you want to be great, your grind has to be 3 times bigger than your dream. Mm-hmm. And if you can do that, you can step over here and you can achieve that greatness, and then you can pay it forward and help other people do the same thing.
Mm-hmm. 100%. 100%, dude. And what's so beautiful about your message is that you went through it. And I think what people can really take away from this is, obviously every person has to deal with their own life.
Yeah.
I think what's beautiful is you went through it and you got to the other side of the fence.
Yeah.
And so what people can use from your information is just kind of know what to expect. That way, when it happens, you kind of know what's to come.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of uncertainty for people when they're on this journey. It's like they do feel like they should give up. Mm-hmm. But then you can take it from someone who already went through that situation and tell you, like, yo, like, expect to want to give up. Like, expect to want to give up. Like, literally, if Shaundi could give you like a blueprint for what does it look like to become great? Oh, step 3, you want to give up.
Yeah.
Step 4, just don't give up. Right. And then step 5, then it comes.
Yes.
Right? And it's like, you know, so so there's a couple things, and so one thing is, because, you know, okay, let me ask it this way. In the people you've actually worked with, who have come to you for advice, who you've helped, and I'm going to share what it's been the case for the people I've helped. But what is the most common factor that people you've worked with has them not really grow and move forward, despite knowing all that? You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, cause you know, like, there's so many people, and we were and are these people at times.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to let people know, like, we're not perfect. Like, I go through my demons every fucking day, right?
Every day.
Every day, right? Yeah. Even during this call, right?
Yeah.
But like, there seems to be a threshold or something where, like, it's one thing to read the books, it's one thing to attend the seminars.
Yes.
But what is the difference between someone who absorbs and applies and absorbs and does nothing?
Man, I'm feeling level 6 energy leadership now.
Right? Because we're not the only ones saying this kind of information.
Yes.
And so, but I want to know through our actual experience and interactions with people, what is it that they're dealing with that has them not move forward, and what tools or things did we give them, or did they give themselves, that finally they went from a stuck here, I'm not enough, to I know I'm not enough, I hear it in my voice, but I know I'm enough, and I still move forward and I make things happen. They
did it afraid. Let me just tell you. When I got into this industry in 2007, I started noticing a trend. I started noticing people going to seminars over and over and over again, wishing for the magic pill, right? And one of the things that I did not want to be was spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 per event and not make no money the next. You know what I'm saying? Not make no money next month, right?
Right.
I was in direct sales for about a good 4 or 5 years, and the goal was to go to that event, get some nuggets out the guru, apply it, and make a couple more $1,000 on top of what you made the month before, right? I started to notice other people that was going to the events that I was going to, and we came in at the exact same time. And I made $500 my first month. Then I made $1,000. Then I made $3,500. Then I made $5,000. Then I made $8,000. Then I made $10,000 a month. They were still like, high five, Shaundi. Oh, I'm so excited for you, Gabriel. And I'm on my path. And you talking to them in between breaks and lunch and dinner and mastermind sessions, and you come to realize they haven't made any more money yet.
Right.
And it's like, we heard the same information.
Right.
We went through this. What's going on? Like, I'm being real right now. I'm like, boo-boo, what's up?
Yeah.
And what I found out was they let their gales, they let their gremlins, their limited beliefs psych themselves out. And so, I mean, I was a fraidy cat. Let me just tell you guys.
One second. Let me explain what GAILs are to the people, okay?
Yes.
GAILs is an acronym, GAIL, right? G stands for gremlin, which is a term to describe the part of a person that's like the nastiest, like, I'm not enough, you suck, you can't do this, you're not enough, you're a failure, you suck, don't do it, you're going to die.
Yes.
That's what a gremlin is, okay? A stands for assumption, which is like you assume an outcome or you assume something about yourself that has to do with things not being possible.
Yes.
Okay? I stands for interpretations, which in the way you see it. It has to do with the way you see a certain situation.
Right.
So, for example, I don't know. You just interpret things. The whole point. Okay, so I is interpretation, and L is limiting beliefs. All those things, all the GAILs, all those terms have to do with one thing, which is how you get in your own way or what stops you from moving forward. Right. And so what Shaundi's saying is that a person who learns and applies versus someone who learns and does nothing is that the person who ultimately applies is not stopped by GAILs.
Right.
Right. Because at the end of the day, that's all that really F's everyone up.
Yes.
It's like these thoughts that pretty much revolve around fear.
Yeah.
And then it overcomes them such that they don't take action.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the people who don't get limited, they either have a tool or a ritual or some kind of something, strategy, some kind of something that despite the GAILs that come up, which every human person goes through, they still get up, they still write that paper that they still write 1 page a day for their book.
Yeah.
And even though they have GAILs, they still get up and they record. Even though they're scared as fuck, they still knock on the door. They still make sales. And so I think you're exactly right. Like, Like they go from someone who reads how to swim and looks at the pool to reads how to swim and just jumps in.
Yeah.
Or at least puts their fucking foot in, right? Like, you know, so, and I before I give the mic back to you, Shaundi, I want to let everyone know that it is like a, because I used to be one of those people, dude, like read all the books, go to the seminars, spend thousands of dollars in seminars, and still no results. And it wasn't until I really got honest, I was like, oh shit, like I'm not getting any results, right?
Yeah.
And there was a connection between not having results and me. And here's actually a breaking point that I want people to know is, and this is kind of like, this was the game changer for me.
Man, break it down, dude.
This was the game changer for me. So literally the difference between, I'm going to use my life, the difference between having abs and not having abs. No, let me put it this way. If you have abs or you have some abs or you have no abs, that's your choice. Like you're choosing that. Like everything I have in my life right now, I'm choosing that. So there's no right to complain ever.
Yes.
I am the denominating factor between everything in my life. Everything. There's look. If I have X $100 here, but I have nothing here, it's not because of some external factor. Like it's me. It's me. And I think, well, and I wanna let people know with compassion. Like I get how, bro, we are not taught how to succeed.
Right. Yes.
Because success and Shaundi said success and fulfillment are two separate things. We're not taught to do either. We're not taught to do either. And so there's a misconception on what it actually takes to make things happen, not just make anything happen. Because it's the same formula. If you can create results in this one area, you can create results in another area. It's the same rules apply. Look, the steps might be different. Like it's different to get abs than it is different to make $1 million. But the same like founding principles on how to make anything happen, any result, it's the same. It's the same. And if I could break it down, I mean, God, and see, this is where you always get lost because it's like, what is the dumb? I don't know, dude. But I think the denominating factor is that you have to know that it's possible.
Yes.
Like any result that you want to make happen is possible, and that it's only going to happen if like you make it possible. You know, and that's so, you know, raw, really. But look, and here's, okay, let me say this point real quick.
Sure.
So look, if we're going to talk results, right? Look, it's like, how do I move this cube from here to here? Right? A lot of people, they read first. They do a bunch of planning first.
Right.
They're like, okay, I have the plan. You pick it up, you go, okay. I need to get some reps in. Okay. And then it's time.
Right.
To do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then they fail to do it. And then over time they're like, oh, I can't do it.
Right.
Right. But what they never did was do this. Right. They never did that. And see, the thing is whatever it took for me to do this is no different than what it's going to take for me to make $1 million. Obviously, it's not that quick.
Sure.
But it's just me doing a bunch of this. Like if this was the plan, if this was the thing I need to do, I just need to do this.
Yes.
And it's more than that, right? But this is pretty much what people are doing. This is what they need to do, and they're like this, and they're like, I can't.
Yeah, they stuck like Chuck.
I can't. Or they need to do this, but they do this instead. Right? Or they're like, they move all other kinds of shit except for the thing they actually need to move. Right. Yeah. Right? So there's just like, you know, and I get it. I get, especially the stuff that we want the most. It's like we can't, we make it so like, no, it's not just this. Like, you know, it's all kinds of shit. Anyways, bro. Anyways, back to you.
No, man, that's good stuff, dude. No, that's a good analogy, man, because we create we actually create the problem bigger than what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. It's okay to be in that space. It's okay that you did that in the past. It's okay that you did that in the present. I always ask a client this here. Okay, great. I hear your story, but how do you want to move forward, right? You know, because to every day that we get blessed with another day, that's a new day to say, hey, we can do this. We can start all over. You know, yesterday is history. Tomorrow's a mystery. But if you focus on today, that's something that you should be concerned about. But you know, one thing that I like, because I know for me, the way I learn, because I'm not the smartest guy in the playground. You know, I had to work 3 times harder to get where I'm at today. But I like to break things down to elementary. You know, and what I'm about to tell you right here, I want you to really listen to me and hear me, guys, because remember when we were babies. You may not remember when you're babies, but you've heard the stories when you was a baby. Oh my gosh, you was crawling at 8 months. Oh my gosh, you was talking at 10 months. Oh my gosh, you was walking at 13 months. Mm-hmm. But let me just tell you guys. Now my youngest is 2 going on 3. He'll be 3 July 29th. Mm-hmm. My son has probably tried to roll over on his they lay on their back first, right? When they bake. We lay them on their back first.
Yeah.
They do everything they can to try to roll over on their stomach, right? Yeah. That is not overnight. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the baby is trying to crawl, right? There's so many times where it's a process of crawling. Then they're crawling. How many times have you seen a baby crawl, try to stand up, boop, fall down, boop, fall down? How about when they started walking? Get this right here. They walking. How many times do they fall in the house on the playground, right? You're like, oh my gosh, don't bust your knees. Right. My son is walking good. He's starting to sprint now. The boy actually outran me at Macy's the other day, Gabe. Heart attack. I actually had to use my full-fledged strength because he just took off like that.
Oh my God, dude.
But I'm gonna tell you though, as a parent, when he falls, I'm like, boy, you still falling? But get this right here. He's been walking for over 2 years. He still fall.
Right. Right.
Repetition is the mother of all skills.
Right.
You know, one thing that took me from a horrible salesperson to a top selling salesperson was I had to make 1,000 phone calls. Because I wasn't getting it done in 100 phone calls. I had to make 1,000 phone calls to make money, right? But the thing about it was I had a vision of where I wanted my life to be, where I wanted my family to be, and what was stopping me was making just 100 damn calls. But somebody said, make as many calls so you get the first sale. And my first sale came on 1,000 call.
Wow.
But here's the thing: when you are honing your craft, when you are learning and you are applying. Notice I said you're learning and applying, right? Mm-hmm. You begin to get a little better. Then you get a little better. Guess what? I've been doing this 10 years. You know how many calls I got? You know how many calls I make per day? And it's not bragging.
How many?
I probably make 10 calls if I There was a time when they said, Shaundi, you got to walk in. Ooh, I got to walk in. Oh, I got to make it happen. I got to get this going. If I don't get 10 people per month, they're going to fire me, right? Yeah. That's when I was average.
Right.
But when I got good, you know what happened?
What?
Gabriel, I greatly appreciate you want to come to John F. Kennedy University Sports Psychology program. I'm going to tell you like this here, though. Can you come see me at 3 o'clock tomorrow because I'm busy?
Hey.
I got 4 or 5 appointments ahead of you. I'm working with 180 applications from around the country, Division I schools. People want to come to our school. At 3 o'clock. Shaundi, I'm at work. Hey, man, let me tell you this right here. The deadline is actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if you are serious about being into this industry, you will meet me tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Shaun, I'm gonna be there.
Hey, goddamn.
That's what happens when you become great in your space. But it took years. You know, you got to take a lot of action. You got to do it afraid. That's real talk. You got to take a lot of action, do it afraid. So to Gabe's point of, you know, why do people get stuck and how come other people succeed is, you know, we talk about IPEC. There was a couple people in IPEC that was introvert. You know, we going through the modules, the journey, and you know, they were galed up. I'm gonna tell you something though. I watch each and every one of my cohort members, right? Because I love them all. And I seen the ones hit the ground running. I seen the ones that was steady Eddie. I'm gonna tell you though, the ones that were that had a lot of fear, I watched them take a little step here, take a little step there, take a little step there, and guess what? Man, they are phenomenal full-time coaches. They not working in corporate America no more. They doing this full-time. Why are they doing it full-time, living the life that they desire and stepping into their life's purpose? Because they took action and they did it afraid. It's cool to be afraid. Say, hey, I'm afraid. Hey, I'm afraid. But here's the thing, afraid. You want to come with me? Because I'm gonna make this thing happen. Okay.
Right. No, 100%, dude. 100%. You know, fear is an interesting thing. It really is. Fear is an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And I used to be riddled with it. I'm trying to think. So just to answer the question from my experience.
Sure.
The common theme that seems to come up is it's the victim state of mind.
Oh.
That's the main one. That's the main one. And what I want to let people know is that we all go through that, and I still go through the time of being a victim. But when you're a victim, one, like you really are really beat up, like mentally and emotionally, like you're beat up. But what happens is when you're in a victim state of mind, you're literally disconnected from the fact that you're the one who's responsible for your life.
Yeah.
And you know, and I get it. Like victimhood state of mind. But that I would say that's the common denominator. There's this. Doesn't matter what area of life it is. Can be money. Can be relationships. Can be self-growth. Can be exercise. Whatever.
Right.
It's the victim state of mind. It's that just lack of responsibility for the results.
Yes.
Ultimately. And here's the thing. There's there's nothing wrong with victimhood. Honestly, there's nothing wrong with it. But what happens is you have people who play that story and they use it as a cop-out and they don't know it. They don't know it. They use it as a cop-out. They don't know it. And it's hard. Like it gets really beat up in here. But I would say that's the common denominator. And I want to stress again, like we all have the capability of being a victim, right? But it's like it really is just that there's a lack of a bridge between the reality that we're living and the part that we play.
Yes.
And it's hard.
Yes, it is.
I've never read this book, but the book's called Extreme Ownership. Right. And essentially, like, what changed my life was when I realized that I had the ability, like anything is possible. Like there's nothing about Gabriel Santos that says, oh, he can't do that.
Exactly.
You know? And like all of us, we carry these stories that say, oh, I can't have that. Whether it's abs, whether it's the relationship, whether it's the money, there's some kind of story that says, I can't have that. Like there's something that literally has you like, and that's the funniest part, right? That's the funniest part. Like you look yourself in the mirror and you're like, what exactly of you says that you can't do that?
Right.
Like what? I have arms, I have legs, I have a voice. Like we trip ourselves out. And I'm not saying that that's wrong because it happens to all of us. But we get so lost in a story that says, I can't do that. And sometimes it gets buried deep under failure. Right? And I would say in a practical advice way, what had the people I've worked with, including myself, break free of that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a tipping point, and we're gonna close. We're gonna close soon. There seems to be a tipping point, kind of with what you went through, which is like you just decide, and Tony Robbins says this. You just decide that, you know what, I'm gonna move forward this time, and I'm never gonna go backward again.
Yep.
And I don't think that's something you can necessarily teach or like, you know, but there does come a point, and it could be as soon as you want it to be, where it's like I'm actually gonna, and there's a difference. Like they say, when there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
Like, and that's pretty much that will, there's a way thing. Like you find a way. Like, because there comes a point where you low key realize, like, oh shoot, like I was actually bullshitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like oh shoot,
Yeah.
like I was actually bullshitting. Like I said I wanted it, but low key, like I still had one pinky toe out the door, if not a whole leg, right? But then there comes a time where emotionally you feel yourself walk through the door, you shut it out the other side, you lock it, and you throw the key out.
Yes.
You feel it. And to be honest, like, just be honest with where you're at. Like if you're gonna go on a fitness journey and you're not actually gonna commit and make it a lifestyle, then just understand what you're choosing.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna work on it for 2 months, maybe a year, and then you're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
You know, it's predetermined. That's what I think. And you can change your mind along the way, but like, look, if you say you want this and you don't have it, don't look anywhere else. Right? And just own up to it. Be like, oh fuck, I gave up.
Yeah.
That was me. Like I gave up. I chose to. Like, it wasn't because of this or that. It was because of me. And you know, so nothing wrong with that. Anyways, let's take the next 10 minutes to kind of wrap up, yeah?
Yeah, man, I would say this right here. You know, this is my most foundational principle that I teach in my transformational training program.
Mm-hmm.
This is the cornerstone of everything else to train and coach people on. And Gabe actually hit it on the spot with the book he mentioned. But before I can do any work with any client, whether if it's in relationships, whether if it's in life, money, finance, business, is you have to take 100% responsibility for your life and for your results. And I can do Gabe and I can actually do a 2-day full seminar on this principle alone.
100%. Oh.
100,000%. Because I'm going to tell you straight
I got a quick story after you're done.
I'm going to tell you straight up. When you get into that space and you say, you know what, you right. I'm actually in charge of my own destiny.
Right.
You and I, we can't control other people, other places, and other things.
Right.
One thing we can't control is us. Uh-huh. We have the ability to control our own actions, our own thoughts. Yeah. We are the author to our life story, right? And I'm telling you right now, and you know, this is me putting on that tough love coach hat, right? I'm using that empowerment guy. You can do it, guy. I'm that your cheerleading coach. But there's a time where I have to be that coach is gonna love on you, but say, listen, if you want to make this shit happen, damn it, you gotta take some responsibility, okay? And so this right here, when you get to that point where you say, you know what, I'm about to make this happen no matter what, right? I'm telling you, because it's like, man, so you hold yourself accountable to your word. But when you get into that space of where you stop seeing challenges and you start seeing opportunities, let me just tell you, my friends, that's when you start to see the light on every single situation. And it's a process, but I promise you, You keep doing this work, right? You keep working in your space and get a coach, guys. Get a mentor coach. I'm not saying it's me or Gabe or anything like, but get yourself a mentor coach that has been there and done that and can see your blocks.
Right.
You know, because a lot of times we can laser focus on what we're doing and we get tunnel vision, right?
Right.
My man Gabe, I went through a dark point a year and a half ago. Yeah. And my man did something that not a psychologist could do, not a psychiatrist. My man took my story and said, man, I feel you. I know I see where you're at. I see your pain. I see where you want to go. Have you thought about this? Mm-hmm. And he put it in a question. I was like, I didn't even trip off that before. And you know what he did? I was right here. And he took me to here. Mm-hmm. That's what a coach do. We help you get the blocks out your way so you can see, oh, I didn't even think of that. Right. And it's one thing that was in your face the whole time, but you couldn't see it because you in your own story.
Right.
But that coach can see your blinders. But my friends, you take 100% responsibility for your life, you become open-minded.
Right.
And when you become open-minded, you allow the universe to manifest its universe gifts within you, right?
Right.
I don't care. You know, you could be non-religious. You could could believe in a universe, a higher being, Jesus, Buddha, Allah. I don't care. Whatever you believe in, it's all good. Because I'm gonna tell you, I know successful atheists. I know successful agnostic people. I know successful people that believe in science. I know successful people that believe in the universe. I know successful Christians. I know successful people that come from all religious beliefs. But I'm gonna tell you what's one thing that's universal for successful people. They take full responsibility for their life, and then they go ahead and take action, and they take action, and they take action until the job gets done.
100%. 100%, my man. You killed it. You killed it right there. And you know, I wanna leave them with this, and then we'll do our closing. Literally, we're gonna end at 7:11. Okay.
7:11.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the difference between someone who takes full responsibility and someone who doesn't. Let's say you have two people. They both have to show up at a meeting at 8 p.m. Mm. Let's say they both show up late. Mm-hmm. Okay. The person who doesn't take full responsibility says, "Oh, there was traffic." Right? There's traffic. Is it traffic? What am I supposed to do? Is traffic, right? Mm-hmm. The other person who takes full responsibility later says, "You know what? I should have left sooner." Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Wow. I remember showing up somewhere and I was like, "Oh yeah, blah blah the time." And it was one of my coaches. He's like, "Oh, you think that you're controlled by time? That's funny."
Right.
Right. And literally, I had another mentor coach say, you know, one time they you know, and her company, they're all about integrity.
Yes.
You show up on time, if not sooner.
Yes.
And they really harp on you.
Sure.
And what she shared with us is like, look, like if you had a meeting with the president of the United States, you're gonna show up a week fucking early, right?
Yeah.
And so if you show up late, it's not because of the damn traffic.
Right.
You chose to risk the time that you were leaving, and you like, look, maybe you didn't learn, right? That the traffic happens, but like if you show up late again. Hell no, right? And so I'm 95% of the time I'm always on time because like that's just a demonstration of your ability to move and to move life around.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like if you can't show up on time, mm-hmm. How the hell are you gonna make $1 million? Ooh. That's happening. And look, like I said, I want to reiterate, we're not perfect. Like, we could not be any more regular than anyone else watching this.
Yeah, seriously.
You know what I'm saying? Like, seriously. But, you know, we're trying our best to walk the walk and be on the journey and get to the destination and then help as many people come right on over.
We're here to change billions of lives. I'm telling you right now, billions.
Literally. Yeah. All right, cool. So there's 2 minutes left. You have like a minute closing remark, anything you want to leave the people with? literally a minute. I'm gonna cut you off at a minute.
I know, 'cause we can talk about this all day. Yeah, man, I just, you know, I want you guys to really sit down with yourself. And I just want you to, I want you to get a piece of paper, and I want you to suspend limited beliefs. I want you to pretend that money is not an object, right? I want you to sit down, and I want you to write, I want you to write a 103 goal list. Where you want to go, where you want to live, how much money you want to make, what kind of car you want to drive, what kind of schools you want to put your children in. 103 goals. Money's not an issue. Don't trip off, it ain't going to happen. Hey, I want you to be a kid, dream big. Write it all down. Write 103 goals down today, tonight, okay?
15 seconds left. 15 seconds left.
And from there, I want you to get around some people that you like and trust, and they love you, and I want you to share those goals. That's all I want you to do this week.
Perfect, right? 103 goals, no limitations, nothing, anything's possible, and then share it with how many people?
Share with as many people that you like and trust, and they got your best interest.
There you go. Awesome, perfect message. My message is go do that. Go do that, like straight up. And the reason why is because if you're the only one who knows what you're up to, you're going to be fighting an uphill battle, right? Straight up. But if you have people, because people, they're going to see you as the old you.
Yeah.
And when you stand up in front of them, you're going to feel like the old you.
Yes.
Because they make you who you are. They talk to you like you're the old you, right? Yeah. But if you say to them what you're up to, then it's like, oh, right? But you got to back it up with action. That's your responsibility. If you say what you're going to do and you back it up, oh, they have no choice but to believe you.
Yes.
Right? All right, cool. Well, that's my piece. I'm going to stop the recording in a second, Shaun, but when we're done here, I want to stay talking to you just for like 5 minutes.
Sure.
After we're done. But yeah, guys, that's it. That was 1 hour and 11 minutes of Mr. Shaundi Goins and yours truly, just kind of chopping it up. And we hope that, you got something out of this and that you do something with it. And that we'll be back again soon.
God bless you guys. Love you.
Yeah, love you guys too. Peace out. Have a blessed day.